So my name is Jim Klonaris. I've lived in Knoxville for almost 48 years. My parents moved here when I was 12. I turned 60 years old on Wednesday, the first day of early voting. That is your gift to me. I went to Farragut, middle school, high school, University of Tennessee, graduated, left Knoxville for 3 years, brought my wife back home, and raised my beautiful family. I have 3 children. I now have 5 fantastic grandkids. My wife and I have been serving Knoxville for 35 years, literally. We're in the restaurant business. And politics was never on my radar, ever. My head has been down. I was sharing with somebody earlier tonight that I've never even been part of a club. I've never been to a networking meeting. I'm not part of these groups. I've just put my head down. I've done my own charity work on the side quietly with local groups, feeding homeless and the impoverished. 13 years ago, my wife and I built a restaurant downtown. We were recruited to come downtown from West Knoxville. It's called Cafe 4 on Market Square. Many of you have been there. And at the time, the mayor was Bill Haslam, and a group of leaders had a vision for Knoxville. And that vision started executing 13 years ago. And I'm proud to be part of that. Subsequently, over the last 13 years, my wife and I have been growing our businesses, employing more people, giving people more better than living wages along the way. We now have 230 employees in our system. And my wife and I just finished opening up a restaurant this year, and I could barely get the restaurant open. It wasn't because we weren't following codes, and it wasn't because of COVID. It was because the culture of our city has gone into demise. It's deteriorated. The current leadership, the mayor and her city council, have lost the understanding of serving the community. They have an agenda, and they have slowly and methodically tilted our city, and they're taking it off the rails. Enough is enough. We have to get involved. People, look at this room. Is this the only Republicans in Knoxville? Come on. It's time to get involved. I threw my hat in the ring in January of this year, not knowing what I was getting into. Remember, I had never done anything like this before. Now my eyes are open. I see all the problems. I got into the race because of my frustrations with the city, and then I found, out what's going on with our police department, the amount of homelessness that's out there, the fiscal prioritization and bad spending that goes on. The list goes on. So these 5 candidates are all serious about taking our city back. We need to take the city back with all 5 of us taking out these incumbents. At a minimum, we have to get 3. We need all 5. We joined at the hip about 8 months ago. We all have the same speaking points. We're all lined up. We together can make a huge impact. 1 or 2 of us, we're just a clanging bell. We have no power. Does that make sense? We have to get us all elected. What's that mean? It means that you have to get every single person that you know from age 18 to 98 out to the polls. You have to vote. Early voting starts Wednesday. It ends on the 28th. We don't need another Hurricane Irma coming through on Election Day and half of the Republicans sit at home. It's over. We've got to get involved. I could stand up here for hours, by the way. And I'll stop. It's time. So let's introduce the last candidate, and we'll answer questions from the field, and we're all happy to answer those. Thanks, Gary.